Well, 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 guess who is back? The Explorer of Horror has awakened from slumber. Now, I'm not gonna act stupid, guys. I have a lot of explaining to do. First of all, just want to say that I got a brand new microphone. So, I got a blue snowball. I'm all YouTube professional now. Still got a really shitty camera, but I'll get a better camera in due time. But I did get a blue snowball, so I could have some better audio quality for you guys. And I wanted to come back because I wanted to wrap up this series. I didn't want to leave you guys kind of hanging on just a random last review. Let me close Facebook really quick because that's a lot of notifications. If that keeps popping up, I'm very sorry, but I don't really know how I can mute that from my computer. But anyways, just ignore it if it keeps popping up. But I wanted to make this video because I didn't want to leave you guys hanging on a limb of this series, and I'm not really too sure I'm going to cover the final chapter because I have not seen it all the way through. I started watching it, thought it was lame, so I stopped watching it. Eventually I'll get to that review, but I did want to cover the last two movies in the series and kind of give the series closure. And also there's another reason why. It's probably the biggest reason why I haven't been uploading, is because I have a job now. I have a job at a warehouse, scanning things all day. It's a really easy job. The hard part is the hours. I'm working the suicide shift, so I'm working from I leave at around 5 o'clock. Really, I start at 5:30 in the afternoon, and then I don't get out till 4 o'clock in the morning. So I'm working the suicide night shift. Which it gets money. That's why I did it, because I was just tired of getting broke, and eventually I want to get a car to go to college and stuff like that, and that all takes money. So working has pretty much been taking up my life, pretty much. So I decided to take a break from YouTube for a while to see if I can adjust to that schedule easily, which luckily I did. And I feel like now I'm more comfortable to be uploading videos, and I'm getting more and more used to the work schedule, because I'm not working an easy schedule. It's an easy job, but the schedule is just it's a lot. I spend most of my time in a warehouse, so. But it does pay off, because I was able to update my Scream Factory collection a whole lot because of my job. Like, my Scream Factory collection is pretty freaking dang good, and I was also able to pick up some really great editions of movies, and some really great box sets and Blu-rays, and I've been just going all out and buying stuff, not blowing my money, but spending a pretty good chunk of it, and I've been just getting used to the work schedule, getting used to being a grown-up, which sucks. It really does suck. It's not terrible, but I'm getting used to it. But I figured that since I'm coming back to YouTube, I did want to do something tomorrow. I know tonight's going to be my review night. I'm going to be shooting a lot of reviews tonight. I know I want to upload at least my review on this film tonight. I do want to upload that tonight. But I'll be shooting 2 more reviews, and tomorrow I'm going to be shooting a surprise video, which will be up probably within 2 days. I'm not really too sure, but I can't wait to shoot the next video, because it's gonna be a really fun one. And then that same day I'll be shooting, before probably I do the video I'm wanting to do, because it's gonna be a very long video. I'm gonna be shooting a announcement video for October, so that'll be pretty cool. So it's all good, guys. Everything is going great. If you guys are worried about me, it's all fine. Just getting used to work and getting used to adult life, and learning how to drive, and thinking about going to college, and I have a job now, and paying bills and stuff like that. Not really paying bills. I really don't even have bills to pay. I just have like a phone bill to pay. But when I get my car, I'll have bills to pay. But just getting used to growing up. That's basically what I've been doing. But anyways, guys, I wanted to continue the Resident Evil franchise reviews. These won't be reviews, these will be rants. And today's review is going to be on Resident Evil Afterlife. Resident Evil Afterlife. Anyways, guys, let's get into the review. Alright, guys, I know that the video quality just shifted. I hope the microphone is still working. I'm not really too sure if it is or not. The light's on, so I'm assuming it's still working. Sorry for the random jump cut there to a different quality video. My webcam has been acting up for a few days, and that's also another reason why I've been uploading, because my webcam is trash, let's be honest. This one's trash too, but this one doesn't turn off on me in the middle of a video. Now, luckily I shot the intro before that cut off, so hopefully I can still do this video. I'm going to shoot this part, and if it doesn't work, I'll shoot an intro later, but I'm pretty sure the intro is still going to be good. But I'm really hoping this microphone's still working. It's got a light on, so I'm assuming it is. But we're just going to continue the review. And the video quality is going to be bad for these couple of videos, just saying. Because my webcam is being garbage, so I got to get a new one. But anyways, guys, let's get on to the review. Today we're talking about Resident Evil Afterlife. Now this is a DVD I have. Not a fan of the DVD. Doesn't really have much on it. It has a commentary behind the scenes. I really don't get why this gets features, but other movies don't. But, you know, at least the first movie had a decent couple of DVDs that came out for it. You know, the second movie, I'm really a big fan of that DVD. Even the third movie had its pretty good features and, you know, pretty good design to it. But I'm not really a big fan of this DVD. I'm not really a big fan of this movie. And this movie came out back when 3D kind of got revived for a while. And, hold on real quick. I want to plug my mouse back in real quick. There we go. Just had to plug in my mouse real quick because didn't have to use the touchpad. Just could use my mouse. Now the webcam's not in there. Anyways, this movie came out, like I said, when there was a big slew of 3D movies, which most of them suck because they focused so much on the 3D aspect that it ended up making the movie's quality a lot more lessened. Such cases like Texas Chainsaw 3D. It's not really a bad movie, but it's just an okay movie. I can say it's one of the weaker Chainsaw movies. Silent Hill 3D or Silent Hill Revelation sucks. Saw 3D or Saw the Final Chapter sucks. Piranha 3D is okay. What else came out? There was a big slew of 3D movies that came out. My Bloody Valentine 3D, which I don't remember liking. So this came out when that was going on. It gets a 5.9 on IMDb. Paul W.S. Anderson comes back to the franchise to direct once again. He did not direct parts 3 and 2. I think he should have stayed away. I think he should have stayed in the writing department. Because for me, the first movie, yeah, it's not the greatest adaptation, but at least it's a decent, you know, entertaining film. It had some great action. I thought it had some great effects, great music, decent zombies. It had the liquor in it. It had, you know, a mansion in it. You know, it tried to do some things like Resident Evil did. More than this movie. Way more than this movie and way more than Retribution. And from what I see in the final chapter, way more than that as well. But you even have, like, the first movie. It's a fun little movie. Part 2 is my favorite. I love Part 2. I think it's a great movie. Part 3 is a really good movie, too. Not as good as the first two, but it's still a pretty fun zombie flick. Like, kind of reminds me of a road, what is it? Mad Max. I almost said Road Warrior. But Mad Max kind of reminds me of a Mad Max movie with zombies. So that's why I really like the third movie. And this movie just sucks altogether. It's a terrible film. And I think that we'll get into the problems in a minute, but the main story is that Alice has these clones of herself. Since Wesker was introduced in the previous film, he is the main bad guy in this movie. Alice is at this Umbrella headquarters in the beginning of the movie, and with all of her clones, and she does this really stupid decision where She follows Wesker onto this aircraft and leaves all of her clones behind to get killed. So I'm like, okay, that was kind of pointless then. That happens a lot in this movie, by the way. A lot. And then she snuck on Wesker's ship. She's gonna kill him. And he sticks this antivirus in her, so now she is completely human. Once again, number 2 of the most pointless things you do in this film, because now all of those movies that she had, been building up to, the powers and getting the virus in her and her being kind of immune to it and all that stuff and having the mind powers and having the clones at the end of part 3, all pointless. They're all pointless. Those are all pointless plot points. And then Wesker gets away. Alice thinks that she blows him up. Of course, he survives. And the thing about Wesker in the video games is that he was a character that was in the story from the beginning. He was in Resident Evil 1, and he kind of popped up later on, throughout later sequels, and became the bad guy of the series. In those movies, he just kind of came out of nowhere. He just, in part 3, he's in some meeting, and he doesn't do anything at all in part 3. And then in part 4, he just becomes the bad guy. And then in part 5, becomes a good guy. And then in part, I think part 6, he's a bad guy again. I'm not too sure. But she wakes up, and pretty much the rest of the movie is her trying to figure out how she's going to find Wesker. She goes to this prison. And this is where... actually, she goes to this, Alaska area. I think she finds Claire Redfield there. And pretty much, she and Claire Redfield find this prison where Chris Redfield is. And they're trying to figure out how to stay in there and be safe. And then they're going to figure out a plan to get to Wesker. Of course, the zombies break in, so you have that. And then the rest of the movie is them trying to get out of there and go to this ship where Wesker is. That's pretty much the storyline of this movie. And to get into the problems, because there's really not any good stuff in this movie. In this movie, you have the beginning of where it's like Milla Jovovich is the star of this movie. There's nobody else that's in the star frame. It's just her. Her character Alice is pushed in every scene. Chris Redfield and Claire Redfield don't do squat. They really don't. They don't do anything in this movie. The actors who play Chris Redfield and Claire Redfield, and even Jill Valentine is in this movie again, and they make her a bad guy, an enemy, for no reason. They just bring back Jill Valentine and make her an enemy. Chris Redfield, terrible actor who plays him, has terrible dialogue, barely looks like Chris Redfield at all. He's just a background character. Claire Redfield gets saved by Alice 1,000 times in this movie. You have zombies in this movie that can now run, which I get it. It's like, well, they made the hybrid zombies in the last movie. Yeah, but there was only a handful. There's only a handful, and Alice killed most of them. I think she killed all of them. So in this movie, they don't explain how Umbrella's still making these hybrid zombies. They don't explain, where most of these zombies came from. They don't explain that stuff. They don't explain it at all. And so you have running zombies in this movie. You have executioner enemies from Resident Evil 5 in the 4th Resident Evil movie. Why isn't Leon in this movie? Why isn't the Los Illuminados cult in this film? Or Lord Sutler, or any of these characters? You had a 4th game. See, the thing about this movie that I also get mad about is that it's based off of the 4th entry. Not really based off of Resident Evil 4, but it's the 4th movie in the Resident Evil series. And in the game series, Resident Evil 4 was this big, groundbreaking milestone for Capcom. It showed that you could take a basic survival horror game like Resident Evil and tune it up with a little bit more action and still keep it in the survival horror realm. This movie does not do that. This movie does not have Leon in it. This movie does not have Los Illuminados in it. Instead, it takes most of its stuff from Resident Evil 5, which I don't get, because it's like, why would you take it from that? That's a 5th game ahead of Part 4. And then they finally get Leon in Part 5 and then disappears. Never to be seen again. And he does nothing in it. And the guy who plays Leon is horrible. So that's another big reason why I hate this movie. Because like they don't bring in the characters they need. And if they do, they trash them. I didn't really care for the storyline. Didn't really care for Alice in this movie. She's an annoying character. See, in the first movie, Alice was a somewhat normal character. In the second movie, yeah, she had some action scenes here and there. And, you know, she could, you know, fight and had martial arts and stuff. But her character grew into that. Part 3, her character had mind powers and stuff. It's still, everything else in that movie was pretty fun. In this movie, it's like she just has to be in every scene. She has to be in every scene, has to have every action scene. And if somebody else is having an action scene, it's either lame or Alice comes in out of nowhere and saves them. So you have really bad action scenes. You have really bad dialogue. You have really bad just overall acting. I did not like the actors in this movie at all. No atmosphere, no score, no good camera shots, no good effects. The 3D stuff got really annoying because every 5 minutes you have something out of CGI flying at the screen. Same problem as Silent Hill Revelation. It's the same problems. Just different movie, same problems. You have, I guess Kmart is in this film. I don't think she shows up till the end of the movie, though. She doesn't do anything. And then when Alice does get to the freaking ship to fight Wesker, it's a lame fight. You know, Wesker turns into this giant CGI thing and has these zombie dogs in there. Most of it's CGI. Then it's like, these people on this boat are going to fight Umbrella. And they all end up on this boat. And the 5th movie kind of just trashes that. There's a lot of things in this movie that kind of trashes the previous films. And I don't like that because at least the previous films are watchable. These sequels after Part 3 completely suck. And they're awful. So, you know, I'm not really a big fan of the direction. Paul W.S. Anderson did horrible in this film. And really, after, let's be honest, Resident Evil was probably his last movie, last good movie. It wasn't his last movie, but I think it was his last good movie because I remember really liking Event Horizon. I do like Mortal Kombat, believe it or not. Pompey, I think that was that a good movie? I can't remember. No, I don't think it was. It gets a 5.5 on IMDb. It gets a lower rating than Resident Evil Afterlife, so I'm pretty sure it's not a good movie. I don't know why I thought it was good. I just thought it had some good reviews. Apparently not. But pretty much everything else he's made is pretty bad. Although I will admit, I did like Death Race. That's a good movie too. So I like AVP, it's okay. Death Race is pretty fun. I like Resident Evil 1. I like Mortal Kombat. I like Event Horizon. Everything else sucks. He's just made a bunch of Resident Evil sequels and they're just terrible. They really are. And we'll get into the next movie and get into that movie's problems. But this movie's problems is that it's just a really dumb, awful, cheap-looking 3D film that was only made because it was a 3D craze and there's no good storyline to it. Pointless things happen. Things happen that don't even get explained, like, why are the zombies running now? Why do they have their mouths open up like they're the Reapers from Blade 2? Why? You know, why is Alice such in the freaking mainframe? Why is she always in every scene? It gets really, really annoying. I'm just not a really big fan of it. I think it's a slow-paced movie. It takes forever to end. And for most Resident Evil fans of the film franchise, it's a pretty good entry. For me, it's not. For me, it's just awful. It's awful. But anyways, guys, that's going to pretty much wrap up my review for Resident Evil Afterlife. Hope you guys enjoyed. And I will see you guys in the very next video for Resident Evil Retribution. As you can tell, I'm not excited to do this review. But I have to because why not? Anyways, guys, thanks for watching the video. Explorer of Horror is out.